Scary movies. When's the last time you saw a really good one? It seems to me like every year around Halloween I'm confronted with the fact that the majority of horror movies coming out are steaming piles of shite with nothing original and no redeeming qualities. So what about this year? Halloween's fast approaching, and if you're looking for a good scary movie to take you through the night, look no further. I'm Lee Mamani, and I'm going to give you 5 great horror movies to watch this Halloween. Films centering around a woman and her young son being tormented by an evil entity are a dime a dozen in horror. But though it may be the case, 2014's The Babadook manages to do this in a way that makes it seem somewhat fresh and unique. The film centers around widowed Amelia and her son Samuel. One night, he asks Amelia to read him a mysterious pop-up book called Mr. Babadook. The book centers around a supernatural entity. Once someone is made aware of its existence, the monster torments that person. It's from here that things begin to take a turn for the worst. To go much further would start to move into spoiler territory. And trust me, a film like The Babadook needs to be seen with as little knowledge as possible. You'll thank me later. My number 4 pick is a movie that truly took me by surprise. I thought it would be a terrible mess, but I walked away pretty impressed. I'm talking about The Conjuring. The Conjuring is a supernatural horror film with Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Stars Ed and Lorraine Warren, paranormal investigators and authors associated with paranormal cases and hauntings. Their reports actually inspired the Amityville Horror. The Warrens come to the assistance of the Perron family, who are experiencing increasingly disturbing events in their farmhouse in Rhode Island, 1971. The fact that the story is supposedly based on real-life events adds a lot of weight to the story, whether you believe in the supernatural or not. Also, top-notch acting and the use of practical effects over dodgy CG help keep a potentially outlandish premise grounded. Plus, it's a pretty entertaining movie too. Horror movie remakes and shite normally go hand in hand. You'd think with so many bad examples they would stop churning them out. Well, I thought the same. That was until I saw a film that changed that school of thought. 2013's Evil Dead. While there are similarities to the original, a group of young people go to a remote cabin, find a demonic book, which they unwittingly open, resulting in a hellish and terrifying ordeal. But that's it. Everything else is new, and you know what? It works. It's everything a remake or reimagining should be. It takes the best of the old and adds some great new content to help make this version stand on its own 2 feet without any baggage from previous films. If you're up for scaring yourself on Halloween, you should look into Evil Dead. Next up is something truly unique. It Follows. The film centers around a curse that passes from person to person through sex. Once it is passed to you, an evil entity will kill you. No matter where you go, it will follow you and it will kill you. The only thing you can do is to pass the curse on by sleeping with someone else. Passing the curse on, it's no longer coming for you, it'll be coming for them instead. And you better hope that they do the same, because if they die, the curse comes back to you. Oh, and one more thing. This entity is a shapeshifter. It can look like anyone it wants to. And unfortunately for our lead, played by Micah Monroe, she's the latest person to be cursed. One of the few things keeping her safe is the fact that the entity only pursues its prey through walking. That means it's possible to gain a little distance from it, but also, for the viewers, it makes for a very tense film. I mean, pretty much every scene has someone walking in it, and as you never know what shape the entity will take, disaster can strike at any moment. If you haven't seen it, make sure you do something about that, because It Follows is thrilling, tense, and it's truly original. I don't know about you, but the horror movies that really affect me are the ones that offer a sense of realism, whether it's in the situations they depict or in their locations. And my number one pick is one that is made more scary because it's based in my hometown of London. I'm of course talking about Danny Boyle's masterpiece, 28 Days Later. Imagine waking up from a coma to find that a virus has taken over England. The infected are rage-filled monsters who can pass the virus on through contact with their blood, more often than not as a result of a bite. Now, I know what you're thinking. Infected people running around, biting people, sounds like a zombie film. And you'd be right, 28 Days Later has got the spirit of a zombie film, and I guess it can actually be considered as one as well. But we're not dealing with the living dead, and as such, we're not met with that shambling masses of walking corpses. We're actually dealing with sprinting cannibals, which in my opinion are way more scarier. I love this film so much that it's become a tradition to watch it around this time of year. And if you only watch one horror movie this Halloween, make sure it's 28 Days Later. Trust me. Right, that's about all the time we got for today. Thanks for watching the video. Please, if you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe below, follow us on Twitter @BoxSetBoys, and just interact with us. We want this channel to be the best it can be. So with help, feedback, and all your amazing comments, we'll be able to do that. Until next time, I'm Lee Mamani, and this has been Gimme.